Good afternoon, students. I'm very happy to meet you in this online session for grade 10. So, I hope you are well and fine at your home. I think you are reading well according to your regular study plan. Yes, good. So, read the memory poems, okay? At the same time, read the short answers, okay? We are teaching you nearly, we are going to finish the theory part of the lessons, okay? Stories we are going to finish. Hereafter, we have only general writing as well as the grammar part. Some grammars are remaining for you, okay? So last class I started to take the lesson, the last lesson by Alphonse Daudet. Alphonse Daudet's last lesson. Okay, in the last lesson, okay, I said, okay, the little France was the hero of this lesson. Okay, what happened during the France Persian War? Okay, the Persians occupied the part of France. Okay, this place called Alsace and Lorraine were under the control of Persians. So after that, what was the condition of the schools in Alsace and Lorraine? You know very well. I am not going to narrate the history more. So come to the lesson. Okay. Last class we saw how our hero, the small boy, was not interested to go for school because in that day he got a study portion, the principle of participles, yes, rules of participles. But our small boy did not read anything, not even a single word, okay. So he had a second option of running away from the school, okay, going out of the school, okay, to see, okay, at the back of the mill there was a drill was going on for a Persian soldier, okay. So instead of going for school, he could sit there and watch this drill. He was very happy for that. But anyhow, okay, with a confidence, he started to go for school. On the town hall, okay, when he was crossing the town hall, okay, he in the bulletin board, so many people were standing and seeing the bulletin board. Bulletin board means last class I said, yes, it was a notice board, okay. For the last 2 years, all the bad news for Alsace and Lorraine they got from this bulletin board. One is this French people lost in the battle. Another one is important messages from the higher officials. Another one is the orders from the commanding officers where they got from this bulletin board, okay. Then after seeing this, he was continuing towards his school, okay. At the time the blacksmith watcher, okay, watcher said, okay, just made a sarcastical comment against this small boy, okay. He realized that, and when he was going to the school, he had a very strange thing he was facing in the school. It was like a Sunday, not like other days, okay. There was no bustling of sound, okay. There was no unison of sound, okay, repeating in unison and rapping on the table, okay. After reaching that place, he had a fear to enter into the class without seeing, okay, from the teacher. He could reach that place, okay. But Hemel that day was in a strange things, waiting for this little boy to start his class. Have you understood? Okay. Then when he was entering into the class, okay, this dress code of this Hemel, okay. Hemel, a normal dress code is different. That day he wore a special dress code. Only he wore that dress on prize distribution day and inspection day is only he wore that dress, okay. What is the dress? Already said is green coat, frilled shirts and little black silk cap, okay. All the things are embroidered, okay. So that was the things. After sitting on the place, okay, at the back row he saw some old people were sitting there, okay. One is mayor, another one is postmaster, okay. All those old people were sitting at the back row. Then after that our M. Hemel started to take the class, okay. He said that, okay, it was our last French lesson. Tomorrow onwards a new teachers will come from Germany, okay. So he was very happy. Our hero was very happy because hereafter no classes for this small boy. Okay, my lost French lesson. Okay, he started to take the lost French lesson. Now only our small boy realized. Okay, he did not know to read. He did not know to write. After that, he wasted the time by in search of eggs, as well as he sliding on the SAR. Okay, this much I taught in the last class. We will continue from there. All of you take textbook, page number 164. All of you take your textbook, page number 164. Okay, 164, left hand side. Okay, first paragraph. My last French lesson. Why I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn any more. I must stop there then. Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons, for seeking birds' eggs, or going sliding on the shore. My books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar and my history of the saints were old friends now that I could not give up. And M. Hamel too, the idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was. Cranky means, see the glossary, cranky means strange. Okay, so after a long time, okay, this M. Hamel, okay, words, it's like a sentiment. He is saying like this: yes, this is the last lesson. Okay, year after he could not see this M. Hamel. Okay, he forgot all about his ruler. A ruler means, you all know very well how strict. Okay, so he used the cane, okay, to beat these small children. Okay, he forgot all about that. Okay, how strange today our M. Hamel was. Okay, now still that time, okay, his bag was very heavy for him. Okay, to carry the grammar book and the books of old saints were heavy, very heavy for this small boy. Poor man, it was in honor of this lost lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. And now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. Have you understood? Now the small boy came to the conclusion that now only he realized, okay, why these old people were sitting at the back of the bench. Okay, when he was entering, when he was coming to the school itself, he had seen so many strange things happened in the way, on the way, as well as inside the school. Okay, come. Then I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. It was because they were sorry too that they had not gone to school more. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was there no more. Okay, why they were there means this M. Hamel, okay, has been teaching there for more than 40 years. Okay, to show their respect. Okay, so they came here showing their respect for the country that was there no more. Okay, to show their respect, okay, to show the reverence to their country, that old people came to the class. While I was thinking of all this, I heard my name called. It was my turn. It was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for the participle all through, very loud and clear, and without one mistake? But I got mixed up on the first word. Okay, so when he was thinking about all these things, he heard the sound. Okay, M. Hamel called his name. Okay, and according to his study plan, he asked the question. Actually, he had the intention to recite the rules of participle from beginning to end. When he started to say a first word, he was stricken by the word. Okay, I got mixed up on first word and stood there holding on to my desk, my heart beating and not dragging to look up. Okay, he had a fear, frightening mind. Okay, have you understood or not? For example, when you were standing in the class, if the teacher asked some question, if you did not know the answer, how you will stand? You never face the teacher, yes or no? Okay, keep the head down. Yes, bent head, okay. You will stand like this. Whatever question asked, you never answer. You have your fear in your mind. Sometimes you don't have fear. But this small boy Franz had a fear, or he could not see M. Hamel. I heard young Hemal say to me, I won't scold you, little Franz. You must feel bad enough. Okay. See how it is. Every day we have said to ourselves, Ba, I have plenty of time. I will learn it tomorrow. Okay. In this lesson, okay, not only they are saying about the importance of language, they are not saying about the importance of history for the French people, but here one important quality, okay, they are saying. For example, if you want to learn something today, we will postpone. Yes, tomorrow we have time, or day after tomorrow we have time. Okay, next week only we have exams. Okay, okay. So here, okay, we should not postpone any work. Okay, like that here. Okay, our Hemal start to narrate. You must feel bad enough. See how it is. Every day we have said to ourselves, Ba, I have plenty of time. I will learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out. That is the great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till tomorrow. Okay. So here only tomorrow onwards they want to go for another language. They can't learn French in Alsace and Lorraine. Okay. So time. So she puts up learning till tomorrow. Now those fellows out of there will have the right to say to you, how is it? You pretend to be a Frenchman, and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language. Just to see the condition, German people were standing outside. Okay, tomorrow onwards their language they will teach you. You may not know neither to speak nor to write your own language. But you are not the worst, poor little Franz. We have all a great deal to approach ourselves with. Okay, reproach means, write the meaning of reproach. Shame. Okay, reproach means shame. But you are not the worst, poor little Franz. We have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. Okay, we all have okay, shame. Okay, because of these reasons. Okay, tomorrow onwards we would not learn the French lesson. Your parents were not anxious, okay, worried enough to have you learn. They preferred to put you to work on a farm or at the mills, so as to have a little more money. Okay, so here they are saying your parents were not worried about your studies. Okay, so they were very happy. They will send you to a farm or some other mill. You will get a job there. Okay, they will get a menial money to run their family. And I have been to blame also. Okay, first one is parents, next one is the teacher himself. What reason? Have I not often sent you to water my flower instead of learning your lessons? And when I want to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? Two reasons. Okay, he sent these children for watering his garden. M. Hamel. The next one is whenever he wants to go for fishing, he gave holiday for these children. That is the reason he is saying, I want to blame myself because I did wrong to you. Okay, good. Then from one thing to another, M. Hamel went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world. Okay, normally you know very well a mother tongue. Okay, we always in praise of our mother tongue, like that. M. Hamel is praising his own language. He is saying French is the most beautiful language in the world. The clearest, the most logical. Logical means, write the meaning of logical. Reasonable. Okay, reasonable. Okay, he's saying it is very clear and most reasonable, logical, that we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had to keep key to their prison. Okay, so the main reason is till they were slaved by or enslaved by the enemies. Okay, if they keep their own language, it is the key for their lock. Okay, key to their prison. The language, their mother tongue, was like a key to their prison to unlock and come out of that difficulty. Have you understood? Okay. So that is they are saying, okay, guard it among us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Then he opened a grammar and read as our lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. Okay, till now, he did not realize the importance of studies. Okay, most of the students in the class also the same. Nearly 50 to 60 percentage of their students, when they are sitting in the class, what they think in their mind, okay, we will mug up those, okay, by heart question answers, by heart the rules, and we will get the good marks in the exams. Our ultimate aim is only to get the good marks in the exams, okay, not to improve our knowledge. Okay, another set of children, they can't listen the class for a very long time. They think about other ideas, okay, because the reason is one is they have no interest in studies, another one is they may not realize the importance of education. That is the reason. But this class, M. Hemal realized the importance. Okay, our M. Hemal, okay, Hemal started to take the grammar class. That day what happened, I was amazed to see how well I understood it. At that day he understood what were this Hamel taking in the class. Okay, all he said seems so easy, I think, too, that I had never listened so carefully, and that he had never explained everything with so much patience. It seems almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away, and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. Stroke means one hit, okay? Within one day, you want to give all the ideas what the Hemal knows, okay, give it to our head, like that it is going on, okay. It easy to understand, okay, whatever Hemal taught in that class. After the grammar, we had a lesson in writing. That day, M. Hamel had never copies of for us, written in a beautiful round hand, France, Alsace, France, Alsace. Okay. So after the grammar sessions, okay, there was a writing class. Okay, writing. At the time, that day, he did not give any copies. For us, he did not give any copies, but he wrote on the board, okay, what he has written means France, Alsace, France, Alsace. They look like little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom, hang from the rod at the top of our desk. Okay, it was such a beautiful handwriting they have seen. Okay, then the only sound was, you ought to have seen how everyone set to work and how quiet it was. The only sound was the scratching of the pens over the paper. Okay, normally the classrooms may not have such a silent. Okay, so in that day, okay, only the scratching of the pen over the paper they can hear. Okay, such a silent, okay, pin drop silence was going on in the class. Once some beetles flew in, but nobody paid any attention to them, not even the little ones who worked right on tracing their fish hooks. Okay, you all know very well, when any insects or any birds, if it distract the class, all the children start to divert their attention towards them. But here a beetle came into the class, but all the people, all the children inside the class, they were listening the class without any distraction. Okay, who worked on tracing their fish hooks as if that was French too. On the roof, the pigeon cooed very low, and I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? Okay, he was a very small boy, so the Franz thought in his mind, okay, sometimes the Germans will compel the pigeons to sing only in German language. Okay, like that thing in his mind. Whenever I looked up from my writing, I saw M. Hamel sitting motionless in his chair and gazing first at one thing, then at another, as if he wanted to fix in his mind just how everything looked in that little schoolrooms. Now, okay, this Hamel was restless. Okay, When he was seeing Hemal, okay, at the regular intervals, when he was seeing Hemal, what he was doing at the time, he was seeing one by one, okay, on the classroom, okay. Then he looked in that little classroom. Fancy, for 40 years he had been there in the same place, with his garden outside the window and his class in front of him, just like that. Only the desk and benches had been worn smooth, the walnut trees in the garden. Then, okay, for the past 40 years, he had been working in that school. Okay, all the places are same for the past 40 years. Okay, he was seeing the garden outside, the windows, and his class in front of him, just like that. Only the desk and benches had been worn smooth. The walnut trees in the garden were taller, and the hop-vine that he had planted himself twined about the windows to the roof. Okay, through windows. Okay, some okay climbers. Okay, he planted some climbers. That climbers through the window it reached the roof. Okay, then walnut trees. Okay, he planted those walnut trees. Now it is very big. Okay, how it must have broken his heart to leave it all, poor man, to hear his sisters moving about in the room above, packing their trunks, for they must leave the country next day. Have you understood? So he was in that mood. Okay, for the last 40 years he was working in that place. At the same time, okay, his sister was getting ready to collect all the things in the trunk. Okay, tomorrow they should leave this France. Okay, that is the order given by these teachers, packing their trunks, for they must leave the country the next day. But he had the courage to hear every lesson to the very last. After the writing, he had a lesson in history. Okay, first he took a grammar lesson. After that writing practice, it is followed by history lesson. Okay, now he was taking the history lesson. Okay, he took the courage until the end. He was taking the class. After the writing, he had the lesson in history, and then the babies chanted their ba, bee, bee, boo down there at the back of the room. Okay, old Hauser had put on his spectacles and holding his primer in both hands, spelled the letters with them. Okay, they are small children, they are learning their alphabets. Okay, this old Hauser, okay, what is he is wearing his spectacles and reading the primer. Okay, all the alphabets. Okay, in both hands spells the letter with them. You could see that he too was crying. His voice trembled with emotion, and it was so funny to hear him that we all wanted to laugh and cry. And how well I remember it, that last lesson. Okay, all the people in that place. Okay, they were crying. Yes, they are going to lose something in their life. Okay, trembled with emotions, and it was funny to hear him that we all wanted to laugh and cry. All how well I remembered it, that lost lesson. Okay, this lost lesson. Okay, he cannot forget those lost lesson. All at once the church clock struck 12. Okay, now it's the time. Okay, 12 o'clock. Okay, then the angels, at the same moment the trumpet of the Persians returning from drill sounded under our window. Now the time was 12. So they heard the sound of this Persians. Okay, trumpet sound of the Persians returning from drill sounded under our window. M. Hamel stood up, very pale in his chair. I never saw him look so tall. Okay, now he looks very pale, very weak. Okay, that time only he realized how tall this Hamel. Okay, then another one is Angelus means, see the meaning of Angelus, a Roman Catholic devotion commemorating the incarnation of Jesus and including the Hail Mary said at the morning, noon, and sunset time. Okay, that is Angelus. Okay, here at the same time it was going in such a way. My friend said he, but something choked him. Choking means, right, the meaning of chalk. Chalk means stopped. Choking means stopped. My friend said he, but something choked him. He could not go on. Okay. it is stopped, okay, chalked from his mouth. He could not talk anything. Then he returned to the blackboard, took a piece of chalk, and bearing on with all his might, he wrote as large as he could, "We love France." Okay, it is a phrase from France. "We love France" means is an expression used in French to show patriotism. It is difficult to translate the term literally into English, but it generally means "long live France." Okay, so "long live France." We love France. Okay, very difficult to write the words on the board, but he turned back and wrote "We love France." Then he stopped and leaned his head against the wall, and without a word, he made a gesture to us with his hand. "School is just dismissed. You may go." Okay, time up. So time is 12. So he is getting ready to leave the place. Okay, so he wrote "Villa France." Okay, through gesture is dismiss the class. Okay, you leave the you may go now. Okay, so that is the lesson of this the last lesson. Okay, so this is a very small story. Okay, we all know, yes, what happened. This M. Hemel, yes, he was a small boy. That day he was not willing to come for school. Then he saw at the back of the mill some drill work was going on by Persian soldiers. He saw a board that was strange for him to see the board. On that day, so many people were standing there. Then what happened? This watcher, Goldsmith, made a ironic remark or sarcastical remark. Okay, he made fun of him. Then he saw a strange incidents were going on in the school. Then he saw the old people sitting inside the class. Finally, Hemel said, "Okay, this was the last French class. So, because tomorrow onwards, new teachers will come and take the French, German language." Then what happened? He started to he realized the importance of education there. Okay, he just wasted the time by going for fishing. Okay, in search of eggs, as well as to going for the river. All these things he wasted the time. Now he realized the importance. He got all the interest to learn the lesson, but it is too away from the real incident. Okay, so that is the last French lesson he got. Okay, the last day he understood what were the things taught by this Hemel. Okay, finally Hemel gave the farewell to these people. Okay, finally he wrote the "We love France." Okay, in praise of France. Okay, so all of you take read the lesson. Book in between short answers are there. Book back short answers are there. So read the short answers. Okay, according to your study plan. So book back we have 9 short answers to read. Okay, thank you, students.